Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, everything that you want just slips right through your fingers? No matter how hard you work, no matter how much effort you put in, everything that you try so hard for or work so hard for just slips right through your fingers and you can't seem to get it? I'm gonna tell you something that might change everything for you. Your abundance, your wealth, everything that you want, it's not waiting on more hard work from you. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because you need to shift your mindset. In this video, I'm going to share the mindset blocks that kept me stuck in lack for my entire life and how I started shifting them, and how you can start creating the life that you know you're meant to live. But you have to remember that abundance isn't just money. It's peace, it's love, it's time, it's quality relationships, and it all starts within. It starts within you and comes out. But before that, if you're new here, my name is Kinsey, and on this channel we talk about trauma, healing, relationships, and everything in between. So hit that subscribe button if this sounds like something that resonates with you. I would love to have you along on our healing journey. Other than that, let's jump into it. So for my entire life, I didn't realize that I was stuck in scarcity mindset. And when I tell you I was stuck in scarcity mindset, I do mean I was so deep in scarcity mindset, I could say I was born into it. I mean, nobody's really born into it, you're conditioned into it. What you see growing up, specifically in the first 5 to 7 years of your life, is what you consider to be normal. The first 5 to 7 years of your life, your brain is a sponge, so what you grow up seeing as normal is what you're going to bring along with you into adulthood. So if you grow up seeing your parents as really good with money and easily attaining everything that they want, money comes easily to them, and everybody, gives them opportunities all the time. If you grow up seeing that, you're going to carry that with you to adulthood. But if you grow up seeing that money is hard to come by, life is a struggle, you have to work really hard for very little, you're going to carry that with you. Mine was the latter. I grew up with a mother who worked 2 jobs. I never saw her because she worked so much. My dad was in prison from the time that I was like 5 or 6. Before that, he was an alcoholic and we didn't really have a lot of money. So I grew up with a lack mindset. We didn't have anything. We got our food from food pantries. We got our clothes from like donation bins and Goodwill, and we didn't have a whole lot. So growing up, I was used to lack mindset type of things. I had children very young, so it was in my mindset that I was going to be a broke single mom, because I was conditioned to think that my mom was a young broke single mom, so I was going to be a young broke single mom. And I would just had the mentality of, I'm broke, I have no money, I can't afford anything. So therefore I was broke, I had no money, I couldn't afford anything. I was a server for my entire career, and I went to college, but I never followed through with anything, and lack money all the way around. And even when I had money, I unconsciously manifested situations where I lost money. I would get into car accidents and didn't have car insurance, so I'd have to pay out money. And when I had my second baby, I had no car insurance, and leaving the hospital because I drove myself to have him, I scratched a really nice car and had to pay out of pocket $2,000, which I didn't have. I had to make payments on it. I attracted these situations to myself. Okay, so constantly attracting situations because I had lack money mindset. And I had survived so many toxic situations from childhood. I grew up in a really toxic home, and into adulthood I had survived some toxic situations. I survived trauma, toxic love. I was used to just surviving, just trying to make it, just trying to get through the day, and money was no different to me. And so even after I was free from those situations, I was physically free from them, but my mind and my nervous system were still in survival mode, and that included financially, my mindset for money. And I constantly felt like there wasn't enough. There was never enough money. Even when I had, for example, a tax return, I would get a really good tax return because I had children, but I never had enough. I could pay off my credit card debt, but I still didn't have enough to pay off my car, whatever. I never had enough time. I was always in a rush. I never had enough. I was always in a lack mindset for every aspect of my life. It wasn't that I wasn't grateful, because I was grateful for the things that I had, but I didn't see how much I truly had, and I just felt like I never had enough, and I was constantly trying to get more of everything because I felt like I was running out of everything all the time. I was constantly overworking, overgiving, overthinking, because I never thought that life would support me unless I forced it to. I had to make things happen. I had to work really, really, really hard in order to get the bare minimum, because that's what I grew up thinking was normal. I was always operating from fear. What if this never works? What if nobody stays? What if everyone leaves? What if I run out of money? What happens if I can't pay my bills? What happens if XYZ? I was operating from a fear basis every aspect of my life. And then when everything did come crashing down, because I finally did give in. I was at rock bottom. I was at a, I was in a relationship that was literally killing me. I realized that my money was constantly not in a good situation. I was in a job that I wasn't happy. I didn't have any solid friendships. My relationships in my family weren't very good. I realized that I didn't have anything, so like, what did I have to lose anyways? It finally hit me that like nothing was where I wanted it to be, and I have been chasing my whole life for things to be at a place that I wanted them to be. So I finally gave up and asked the universe for help. Universe got me out of the worst of my situations, which was my toxic relationship, which was the hardest situation because it was like my home life. And that's when I realized it wasn't my life that needed to change. No matter where I went or what I did, my life was going to keep attracting the same situations. It was my mindset that needed to change, because you attract what's in your mind. Where your mind is, where your headspace is at, that's what you're going to attract into your life. So I realized no matter what I changed, I could take this big leap of faith, which I did, and it was great, but with that leap of faith that I took, I also changed my mindset at the same time, and that was the key to changing my life. Once I changed my mindset on everything, once I changed the way that I looked at the world and looked at these situations, looked at money and looked at relationships and looked at abundance, once I changed my viewpoint on these things, that's when everything started to change. So I asked myself, what do I believe about abundance? What is my viewpoint on money? What is my viewpoint on, love and relationships? The truth was, I didn't trust it. I didn't trust money because it had never been there to support me. I didn't trust love because it had never been there to support me. These are all things that I grew up from a young age learning. They had never been there to support me. So I didn't trust them. I thought that they were things that you had to earn, to chase, that you had to be perfect to receive, things that were going to run out, that I always had to try to find more of. And because I didn't trust them, they would never stay in my life. If I didn't trust it, it wasn't going to stay. I had to learn to trust that it would always come when I needed it. I had to learn to trust the process, trust that if I put the work in, it's going to be there. If I jump, a net will be provided. I had to learn to trust, which was the hardest thing. If anybody had trust issues, I had trust issues. Believe me. And then I took this class when I started getting into coaching. After I left my abusive situation and got into like coaching women and everything. And I can't remember who said it, but somebody had said, abundance is your birthright. And at first I thought that was a cliche phrase until I really sat with it. And I sat with it and sat with it, and we're all entitled to abundance. We all get abundance. We all deserve abundance. We all can tap into abundance in any way, shape, or form that we want to. But you have to align your energy with it, your frequency. You don't just get it. If you're in a lack mindset, if you think that everything is going to fail you, if you think you can't trust something, you're not aligned with it. If you're here and you're like, money is always running out, I can't pay my bills, I'm always falling short, I can never afford anything, and abundance is here, you can't align with it. You have to be able to align with it. I am deserving of money. I am deserving of love. I am deserving of respect. I am deserving of healthy relationships. You have to align with it, and then it flows to your life so easily. It's crazy how easily things flow to your life when you align with them and match frequencies. You don't manifest by working harder. You have to allow yourself to feel safe to receive it. That was my biggest problem, is I didn't feel safe or worthy of receiving abundance. I didn't feel like I deserved it because I had never had it before, and I had never seen anyone in my family have it before. I had to learn how to start speaking abundance into my life even when I couldn't see it. I had to tell myself I am safe to be supported. I am safe to receive more. When I did receive things, I had to tell myself I deserve to have this. It's okay for me to receive this. I deserve it. I had to catch myself saying I can't, or I won't, or I shouldn't. I had to catch myself and cut those phrases completely out of my life. Those are phrases that are blocking you from getting these things into your life completely. I had to replace them with things like I am open to the possibility. I allow these things to flow into my life. I'm okay with this. I deserve this. So if you're watching this and you also feel stuck and you feel blocked and you feel like you want to allow abundance into your life but you don't know where to start, here are a few ways that you can start allowing abundance into your life. Number one, and this one is the biggest one, Watch your language, watch how you speak to yourself, and when you're just talking like every day, speaking to your friends, to your family, to whoever, watch how you speak. Stop saying, I can't afford that. Stop saying, that could never happen for me. Catch yourself saying, oh, that's not in my budget. Add a yet at the end, that's not in my budget yet. Or say, I'm open to that showing up in divine timing. Watch what you say. Cut the negatives out of your life. That one, I mean, it sounds hard to do, and at first it is a little bit awkward changing your language, but believe me, you will catch yourself doing it, and it does get easier with time, and you will be able to catch yourself saying these things and change the way that you speak. Number 2, find your anchor belief. Find one thing in regards to abundance that you really struggle with, and find a positive anchor phrase to reiterate to yourself on a daily basis. So for example, for me, I would repeat to myself an affirmation of, I am worthy of more than just survival. Because I was stuck in survival mode for my entire life, because that's all that I knew. Even though I didn't know that, I didn't know it until recently, but for my whole life, I was in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you can't bring abundance into your life. Find your anchor phrase and repeat it to yourself daily, multiple times a day, constantly. Find something that you can say to yourself that feels just slightly more empowering than where you've been. Next, practice receiving. This one I struggled with for so long, but allow yourself to receive. We all tend to block abundance in even small ways, struggle accepting a compliment can be really big. I could never, because I had such low self-esteem for so long of my life, I struggled accepting compliments. Or struggling to accept help. You're hyper-independent and you think you can do everything on your own. Maybe you can do it on your own. I'm sure you can, but if somebody offers to help you, accept the help. If you're given a chance to rest, even maybe you have dishes to do or, a little bit of extra work to do, but if you're given the chance to rest, take the rest. Or if somebody's coming at you with a little bit of love, take the love. Even if you don't want it, accept it. The more open you become to abundance, the more naturally it's able to flow into your life. The more you will see it daily. It's like a snowball effect. It comes more and more and more the more you allow it into your life. Here's something I want you to remember. Abundance is not something you're able to chase. It's something that you align with by changing your thoughts, your mindset, your energy, and your self-worth. You're not going to get abundance by writing something 7 times on a piece of paper. You're not going to get it by lighting a candle and writing an affirmation and then burning it in the moonlight. That's not going to work. I mean, I'm sure in certain scenarios, certain energy works. Yes, I'm not doubting that. But what I'm saying is the biggest way to change your life is to change your mindset. Your external world is a reflection of your internal beliefs. You need to give yourself permission to allow in what's already trying to find you. And if you can imagine a certain life for yourself, it already exists and you can already attain it. You just have to allow it in. You are powerful, you are magnetic, and you are ready to allow this abundance into your life. If this resonated with you, I would love to know. I hope you subscribe. I would love for you to be along on this journey. I share videos like this every week. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.